Hey guys, this is Coach Bill with Bill Mabry Online Coaching. Hope you guys are having a great day so far. Today, guys, we're going to go right to the topic, and it's about how red meat is getting a bad rap because a lot of these nutritionists and health professionals aren't actually telling the whole story. And I do agree. Those of you that are buying your red meat and your porks and your chicken from a local grocery store, you are getting bad meat. And what I mean by bad meat is, I mean it's full of IGF-1 hormones that they're putting into their beef to make them get even bigger, so they're weighing a lot more and they can make more money. They're also doing it with chickens. And so the chickens, that's why they look so big in the stores. And because they're using IGF-1 in the chickens, laying hens, that by doing the IGF-1, they're also going to lay eggs 24/7. Now, guys, your body actually produces IGF-1 hormones naturally, and we need it. The problem is that we don't need an overabundance, and that's what the major issue is with the contaminants they're putting in these processed red meats that you're buying at your local stores. Not only are they putting these IGF hormones into these meats, they're also putting antibiotics in there too that are causing major medical issues for most of us, and it's also causing issues to your gut. So what do we have to do? Well, we have to understand that there are two types of meats. And if you think about it, our ancestors, when there was no more fruits or vegetables during the season, what did our ancestors eat? They ate red meat and whatever pork they could get a hold of. And that's what they hunted with no issues, no medical issues. And that's because the red meat was not contaminated with human hormones that the human is putting into these things to make more money, basically. So what I want to do, guys, I did a blog post, and I actually have some science for you showing a research where they did test two types of meats in humans. And so we're going to go right over to that blog post. It's on my website, billmabrycoaching.com. Okay, guys, this is my website here. This is the front page of the website. I do have three packages for weight loss, and they're all online. And I also have a program for those of you that are looking to reverse type 2 diabetes and fatty liver disease naturally. All you have to do to check these out is just go to the personal coaching tab or go to my online coursing tab, and of course here's my type 2 diabetes tab. But today's topic is a blog that I put in there, and I've got several training blogs for my clients who are looking to educate themselves even more so and understand why we do the things we are doing in our online coaching and how it all works. So all you have to do is click on the blog post, and the blogs will come up. You can see I have several different topics that you can go through. The one we're going to talk about is, why is red meat getting a bad rap? So let's go right to it. And this is the blog post here. So what I've done here, guys, is I actually given you a picture between the difference between a grass-fed, pasture-raised grass-fed meat, red meat, and your regular grain-fed meat that has got the toxic, has hormones and antibiotics in it. And as it says here, the grass-fed, pasture-raised meats will have a yellow fat around it, and they'll be much, much leaner, and you won't see a lot of fat in the middle here. But when you're looking at a grain-fed or store-bought, most of them will all have white fat, and a lot of the cuts will have a lot of white fat in the middle here, and that's going to tell you it's actually processed meat. But red meat is getting a bad rap because the health professionals aren't just telling the whole story about there's two types of meat. You got your local store-bought meat, which is contaminated, and then you got your pasture-raised, grass-finished meat, which is a natural meat, which is what our ancestors basically were eating as well. But many health professionals and nutritionists have been telling the public either stop eating meat or limit their portions at once a week. And actually, guys, that is true if you're buying the meat from a local store, and that because that meat is going to contaminate, like I said, is contaminated with IGF-1 hormone, which is causing many medical issues. There are also science is linking it to cancer, and it's also causing, they put antibiotics in there, which is causing issues in the gut. And right now in the United States, most Americans have some type of gut issues. And what it's doing is causing issues, and you're killing your good gut bacteria, and you're actually you're producing more bad gut bacteria, and that's the root cause to bad gut. So let's go down to the science, and I'm going to walk through the science with you. Those of you that follow me know that one of our pillars to our online coaching programs is we use the Spanish Ketogenic Mediterranean meals. That's just one of 4 pillars that we use. And we always tell our clients to go to health food stores and get your pasture-raised either meat, chicken, eggs, always wild-caught fish, and organic vegetables and fruits. But the environment, what's crazy now is the environment has changed. Now they are seeing more fish and shellfish contaminated with radiation and mercury. So even if we're getting the wild-caught fish, we have no idea if it's contaminated with shellfish or mercury or other toxic chemicals. So we just got to deal with that and try to eliminate as much of, or go to a larger or a smaller fish than a larger fish. But here's the science. The American Journal of Clinical Nutrition. It's a Mediterranean-style eating pattern with lean, unprocessed red meat has a cardiometabolic benefits for adults who are overweight or obese. This was a randomized crossover controlled feeding trial. The study took a look at the Mediterranean meals and looked at 2 different meat categories. This is what I'm talking about. A high amount of lean meat and some pork with less fat, and processed red meat. One group ate the higher cuts of fatty meats. They found that the group eating higher amounts of lean meat had better cholesterol levels and lower LDL and lower triglycerides. Guys, I eat red meat 4 to 5 times a week. My triglycerides are always low, and my LDL and cholesterol is always normal. In conclusion, listen to this one. In conclusion, adults who are overweight or obese can consume typical quantities of lean red meat, such as lean and unprocessed beef and pork, pasture-raised, grass-finished, when adapting Mediterranean meals to improve cardiometabolic disease risk factors. Our results support previous observational and experimental evidence which shows that unprocessed and or lean red meat consumption does not increase the risk of developing cardiovascular diseases or impair associated risk factors. It is the large amounts of those fatty cuts that you're buying either at restaurants or you're buying at your local stores that are causing the many medical issues you most likely have, especially when it comes to gut issues. Red meat itself is one of the best nutritious things you can consume, with tons of vitamins, tons of minerals, a good type of iron and protein. The key must be good source of lean red meat, not your normal local store-bought meat. Once again, if you'd like, or look at all the different topics I have. There's some great educational blogs there, and you can also click on to my different online coaching programs and then pick the one that you feel that you'd like to talk about, and then click on free consultation. Very simple. It's free. No pressure. Let's just go over your issues. Even if you decide you don't want to do it, that's okay. But let me answer some of your questions you have, and let's see what we can do. You guys have a great day.